Hello, this is Group 2. I'm here today with Ala Baraka, Christina Sanders, Monica Sugg, and Diana Williamson. Today we are discussing GE additive. GE has discovered many uses for 3D printing. In the agenda today, we're going to discuss the market entry strategy, the business model, as well as GE's performance, their improvements they've made, and recommendations for GE going forward.
Let's start with GE's entrance into 3D printing, which occurred in 2016, 2017, with their intent to reduce the cost of aviation parts and components for aircraft engineers and automobile parts. By 2017, GE had started a 3D printing lab for healthcare workers in Europe. The vision was for physicians, engineers, and manufacturers to work together, collaborating under one roof. GE's focus was on prosthetic implants, artificial limbs, and pharmaceuticals. GE believes that having design and advanced manufacturers' expertise together, it would make a difference in how quickly they could bring new products to market in the future. GE has invested $3 million in 3D printing to showcase possibilities and broader use. It is expected to transform the industry over the next decade and transform supply chain logistics, significantly improving the healthcare supply chain. 3D printing is the technology that can print a gun or a heart, take a life or save a life. As you can see in the appendix in our GE's Anything Factory video, GE has taken on responsible printing as a mission, like Johns Hopkins Business with Humanity in Mind, as they print life-saving organs and prosthetics. They are committed to using this technology in a socially responsible manner. We learned in part one of our presentation that over 600,000 people globally need a transplant or had a transplant, and over 30 million people are living with prosthetic limbs. The need is great, and the timing is right for a company like GE to enter the market and make its mark in a socially acceptable, competitive manner while still maintaining a sound business model. Now, let's have Ala discuss GE's business model.
GE's company culture is of an all-American background that drives their success. Even though individual achievement is a main focus, they highly encourage competitiveness in the workplace. One of its core competencies is the management practices evolve with relevant company needs. Looking at their business model canvas, they have a variety of key activities in different industries such as aviation, engineering, and healthcare. It's worth noting that the highlight of their value propositions is innovation for the sake of improving lives and to be leaders in the new digital industrial era. This is possible through their customer segments that are in different vertical markets to include medical devices, pharmaceuticals, software development, and so on. GE's most powerful key resource is their presence in 180 countries of the developed world and emerging markets. In contrast, Stryker, a giant in medical technology, invested $400 million in 2016 to develop additive manufacturing facilities, a trend GE already dominates. In 2017, a partnership developed between Stryker and GE Additive, in which the latter provided 3D printers, materials, and services to Stryker. Stryker's value propositions are more centered on healthcare, medical, and surgical devices to elevate efficiency and safety, with their customer segments being medical professionals and equipment distributors. Now, Monica will talk about performance.
Thank you, Ala. 3D printing for both manufacturing and medical devices are under GE's aviation division, which increased in revenue by 13% in 2018. GE sold 500 3D printers for hospitals and made $500 million last year. GE is expected to reach $1 billion in revenue for its 3D printing section of its business, which reflects 7% of the overall market share by 2020. GE is on track to invest over $3 billion in 3D printing by 2025. Stryker has invested over $4 million and acquired a company called K2M for $1.4 billion. Who is K2M? They are a market leader in 3D printed spine implants. Stryker also has a partnership with GE for its 3D printers and materials and services. The 3D printing industry is slated to grow 500% from 2017 to 2024. Transparency Market Research forecasts that the global 3D medical device market will reach $3.5 billion by 2025. GE is a solid performer today in the space of 3D printing for medical devices and overall However, in order for GE to grab 10% or more of the market share, they need to accelerate their business model immediately in order to realize their vision and strategy. We contacted GE for comment regarding their strategy for 3D printing, their business model, and their performance, and we've yet to hear back. I'll now turn it over to Chrissy to talk about improvements.
3D additive printing offers individualization and customization in the orthopedics and other medical device markets. It cuts down the manufacturing steps and reduces cost. The goal for future growth is to move the manufacturing process directly into the hospital. This will generate more revenue for the hospital, continue to decrease manufacturing costs, and make the prosthetics rapidly available. Vital to this process is improving the integration between imaging modalities, the software that constructs a 3D model, and the 3D printers themselves. As more 3D printers are placed in hospitals, the cost to acquire 3D printers should also decrease over time. It will be essential to establish a department or appoint a department within a hospital to be in charge of managing the equipment and training people in the technology. GE has created customer service centers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Munich, Germany to help educate companies interested in adopting the technology, but these services will need to be expanded and easily accessible. Establishing clinical guidelines and reimbursement codes will also be fundamental to implementing this service. Henry Ford Hospital and a few VA hospitals have partnered with GE to implement 3D printing to make organ models for operative planning, but not yet for direct device manufacturing. GE's healthcare division has largely made use of its metal printers for the creation of various prosthetic devices. However, bone adapts its structure to functional demands and self-repair. These qualities make bone the ultimate biomaterial. To improve prosthetic integration and longevity, GE should expand its research and development on generating biomaterial from stem cells. The speed and resolution of tissue printing also needs to improve so that productivity could keep up with demand. Now, George will talk about recommendations.
Thank you, Chrissy. From a value proposition standpoint, GE should participate in strategies to launch new 3D printers as well as services that do not deviate from its value proposition, which is to be a leader in the digital industrial era. GE should develop and provide 3D printing software to accompany its machines, which fulfills the unmet needs of its clients. GE should also continue to focus on economies of scale with regards to its manufacturing capacity in global markets. From a market segment standpoint, GE should take advantage of two main market trends, which are, one, the aging population, and two, the technological advancements that continue to drive the demand for 3D printing in the medical devices industry. With regards to the aging population that will continue as a trend through the 2020s, orthopedic applications of 3D printing will continue to be the most promising. Tapping into this need, GE should focus on orthopedic applications, which leverages the strengths that GE already has with regards to its track record within the metal 3D printing space, and it taps into a huge unmet market need of the global market of 30 million people with lost limbs. Orthopedics that GE should pursue should include the metal-on polyethylene segment of the growing hip replacement segment. From a global and regional perspective, GE should augment its provision of services in addition to product development. GE should expand its print service, which will allow clients looking to enter this field the ability to evaluate machine capabilities before making such a large capital investment. GE should create centers of excellence in 3D printing at the hospital level to increase education at the local or regional level as well. By opening these education centers, this should help clients learn more about the process that are involved in 3D printing. In summary, GE has the choice to move into a variety of applications within the broader industry of 3D printing. As GE continues to position itself within the orthopedics segment globally and locally, we challenge GE and our viewers to remember that if we are to do business with anything in mind, we should choose humanity. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation, and please review this video as well as our appendix and references for more information about the Anything Factory by GE. Thank you from Group 2.